All right, hello everyone. Welcome to the Wildwoods Convention Center. I'm Brian Kniff alongside Buddy Tarbot and special live internet broadcast here on CapeMayCountySports.com. And we also want to thank everyone out there who is linking to us, 97.3 ESPN out of Atlantic City, the Press of Atlantic City, and the Boardwalk Basketball Classic website. We are live at the Convention Center, as I said, the Boardwalk Basketball Classic here in Wildwood. Special Bob Hurley Elite Showcase game between Bob Hurley's St. Anthony Friars and the Camden Panthers coming up in about 20 minutes or so to close off the 2012 Boardwalk Basketball Classic. And before we get into a game preview, we're going to bring on the director of the Boardwalk Basketball Classic and also the mayor of the city of Wildwood, Ernie Triano, to just give us a little summary here of the tournament. And first off, Ernie, obviously everyone involved with the tournament is extremely excited to have a team of this caliber in St. Anthony involved in the event.
Absolutely. It's not every day you get a St. Anthony's coming to your tournament along with Camden. I mean, I was standing next to these guys. There's some big boys on that court. And, my hat's off once again. Our tournament is good. In fact, it's great in many regards. But you know what? The bottom line is guys like yourself, Brian, who's part of the committee, who puts the schedule together to make sure the teams are, matched up. I give you my hat off to you and the committee for a job extremely well done again this year.
Well, I appreciate that. And a little bit different here at the Boardwalk Basketball Classic in that we went prior to Christmas this year at a day of showcase games, and then, the 5 days here right after Christmas, and that seemed to work out very well. We got some teams involved that either had never been involved before or hadn't been here for a few years that were able to get back involved again.
Absolutely, and that starting that time earlier this year really worked out well because it allowed us, 6 days in a row can be a long thing. Plus, we get it New Year's Eve day off this year, so we did the day before and then the 5 days after, and again, kudos to your scheduling and the committee who puts in. We get here like 8 in the morning. We get out of here at midnight. So, and again, it's scholarship money for kids who need it to get to school, and that's what it's all about.
Tell us about, and again, and I've said this before, and this certainly isn't to disparage other events. There's a lot of great events out there, but, many of them are for-profit ventures. And the one thing, and I'm not originally from here, but the one thing that I've noticed about here is that when there is a good community project, whether it's involved in sports, a fundraiser for someone who's having a health issue, a fundraiser for a team or an individual who's trying to do something on a national stage, this community really comes out and supports it. And I think a lot of people don't realize that, the stadium announcers, the clock and book people, the security people, the concession stand people, obviously the committee, everyone's a volunteer. I mean, just talk about that.
Yeah. Nobody gets money here. The money goes to the kids that get to school. And believe me, if it's been one, it's been 10, 20 kids come up to you and go, you know what? If it wasn't for that money that the committee made and gave me, I wouldn't have been in school. I could have been in trouble. I could have been in jail. I could have been in a lot of places. But, it allows me, it allowed me, it was, the old adage, it takes a village to raise a child. There's no better example than the city of Wildwood, North Wildwood, Wildwood Crest, and West Wildwood. Everybody pulls together.
And, the other thing is, too, this tournament, there's no way this tournament becomes what it is if it's not for this facility. I mean, and I think a lot of the people on the committee, yourself included, myself included, Buddy, one of the great joys we get out of this thing is seeing the kids walk in the building for the first time and see the venue that they're going to get to play in.
Absolutely. I was just sitting there with Camden. Oh man, look at this place. Look at it. Wow. Oh, look at this. They're taking pictures and all that. And the one coach was getting around with one kid. He said, how do you like that video of the practice gym? I mean, that's even they're impressed. So you know why it's all about having a great product, bringing it to the community for everybody to enjoy.
Well, I think one of the things, Brian, which a lot of people do not realize, and a local product, Wildwood Catholic graduate, went on to LaSalle College and made it as a walk-on. Mike Sidebotham, who's now coaching, assistant coach at the college level. He cut his teeth coaching in the Philadelphia Public League, and when he brought his kids here for the first time to play in this tournament in this building, he had kids on his team on the bus that were never over the Walt Whitman Bridge.
Right.
I mean, think about that. They never were over the Walt Whitman Bridge. They never left their neighborhood in Philadelphia. They never came this way. They never saw the boardwalk. They never saw the ocean.
Exactly.
I mean, that's incredible.
And vice versa. We have kids who've never met inner city kids. Never had, you hear about the Philadelphia schools, the schools from North Jersey, but to put a face to it, to play against them, and to find out, something, I'm as good as these guys, maybe even a little bit better. It gives them the confidence as they carry through the rest of their season. It's a win-win.
Ernie, this game tonight and coming up momentarily on CapeMayCountySports.com, and everyone who's linking to us is St. Anthony against Camden. And the one thing, when we got Camden to agree to play here, we heard so much about Bob Hurley and what he does for kids, what he does for his school. And when we held the press conference back in late September, I don't know if I've ever met a classier individual than that man.
You know what? If you met him on the street, he's just a regular guy who has credentials that will just are unbelievable. And something? Very approachable, no airs about him, just a down-to-earth, a truly genuine individual and a gentleman who is here like you are and the committee and myself for the kids. It's all about the kids, and that's, I'll tell you what, I'm very, very impressed by his mannerism, the way he presents himself, just a great guy.
You have to be happy with, where the way this tournament has grown. I mean, there's certainly been a big local profile when it started back in the old hall, became a regional profile when we moved in here,
Yep.
and now obviously there's going to be some national recognition with having a team like St. Anthony involved. That they come into this game, the latest USA Today national rankings, they're 8th in the country.
Yeah, I mean, to have a St. Anthony's here, it actually lends credence to our tournament. And, we've always said that it was important that we kept a local flavor to it to allow the parents, the grandparents, and the friends and family to come to this facility to enjoy it. And you know what, man, I tell you, we have a facility that we can really brag about.
But do not forget, this is not the first member of the Hurley family to coach here.
That's true.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, we had St. Benedict's here a few years ago,
yeah.
and Danny, who's now a head coach at Rhode Island. So, yeah, that was quite a night that night too.
Yeah,
We had St.
absolutely.
Benedict's
That was
here
a great game.
playing against Atlantic Christian. So, and one of the great things that I think is really neat about watching the high school basketball is that you're seeing kids that could be stars tomorrow. We had the Thompson kid from Lenape played in this tournament. He's now in the NBA. A couple of these kids from St. Anthony are going to play Division I basketball. We've got Fran Dunphy from Temple in the building tonight to watch one of his signees. Josh Brown from St. Anthony, and it's neat to get to see them play as teenagers, and they go on to become college players, and a couple of them have made it into the NBA.
Yeah, I mean, you can sit there and say the kid that was from Hadfield,
Brian Zubek played at Duke.
played
Yes.
for Duke. So I mean, you have these. It's nice to see him in the beginning stages, and you can sit back and say, hey, I remember when he played down here, and now look at him. He's done well for himself, and again, it's the opportunity that we have with the GWTEDA, Greater Wildwood Tourism and Development Authority, to allow us. They give us this building for free, which is quite a considerable cost to them, which allows us to give additional monies out. So, hats off to them, hats off to the committee, hats off to all the volunteers who make the difference.
And we will never hear the end of it if we did not mention a local product that's now playing Division I basketball.
Absolutely.
And at one point this year was leading the country in scoring.
Yeah.
And that is one Anthony Raffa, who played at Wildwood Catholic and is now having a very nice finishing his senior season at Coastal Carolina.
And he actually holds the points record at the tournament here with 48. So,
Hey, I'll chump you one better. Not necessarily in this building, but part of the old Wildwood tournament. Frank Vogel, head coach, Indiana
Yes.
Pacers. I mean,
yes.
That's a local done well. It's great to have. Like I say, I'm sitting here, I'm missing all this going on behind me. Watching these guys. I mean, when you watch them on TV, you really don't see the size. You see them play, but when they're all sitting at 6'4", 6'5", 6'6", when you're standing out here on the floor, There's some big guys out here. Big kids. Big
All right,
kids.
Ernie, thanks for coming on with us. We appreciate it. Ernie Triano, the tournament director of the Boardwalk Basketball Classic. Again, here on CapeMayCountySports.com, we're going to have St. Anthony and Camden coming up momentarily. Buddy and I are going to step aside. We'll let the video, sponsored by Ulmer's Appliance and the Boardwalk Classic, run. You'll see the teams warming up, and then Buddy and I will step back on, and we'll do a little preview right before we tip, and we'll get going with what we hope is an enjoyable night, and we hope you're enjoying it on your computer, sitting in the comforts of your home, watching a great atmosphere and a great high school basketball game.
And again, very special thank you to Matt Ulmer, who is doing this on his own. So we really appreciate everything he's done for us. Thank you, Matt.
All right, Ernie, thanks. Buddy and I will be right back. This is the Boardwalk Basketball Classic. Wildwoods Convention Center, special live internet broadcast here on CapeMayCountySports.com for this special Bob Hurley Elite Boys Bracket, or Boys Showcase game, I should say, between St. Anthony, the number 8 ranked team in the country, and number 1 in New Jersey. And they will take on Camden, the defending South Jersey Group 3 champion. And, Buddy, a lot of buzz and excitement in the gym tonight for this one.
Yes, not a bad crowd as the building continues. People are still coming in. There's still plenty of good seats, so if you're out there and you're on your way, you still have the opportunity to get in and watch this live. And if not, I guess if you're out there and you're on your way and we're on the internet, you better have a iPhone with you. But if not, just stay right there in front of your computer, and we will be able to bring you this very special live broadcast right here on CapeMayCountySports.com.
Camden's very young. They start 2 freshmen, in Brad Hawkins and Jamal Holloway. Rasul Hinson's a sophomore. Tavares Hayden is a junior, and the only senior in the starting lineup is Amir Madrid. And for St. Anthony, which has 4 kids either signed or verbally committed to Division I colleges, and the best one, 6'3" guard Josh Brown, who's committed to Temple. They also have Hollis Cook, another senior who will go to Oregon State. Tim Coleman, a forward, at 6'8". He is signed or committed to NJIT. And Aaron Ariri is also in the starting lineup, along with Jordan Compass. And they are all seniors. And this goes to show you how deep St. Anthony is, buddy. Kentrell Brooks will come off the bench, and he's signed to play at Marist. So you got a Division I player who's not even starting for his high school team. Of course, St. Anthony is coached by Bob Hurley, and what can you say about Bob Hurley? He's got somewhere around 1,050 victories. He only has 110 losses in 40 seasons, and he has had about 150 scholarship Division I basketball players. He's one of just 3 high school coaches to have been inducted into the National Basketball Hall of Fame. That came back in 2010. He has led St. Anthony to 26 state titles and 12 Tournament of Champions titles. And they are the winners of the last 2 Tournament of Champions in 2010 and 2011. And they are on a state record 70 win streak, 70-game win streak that goes all the way back to the 2010 season. Jack McCormick, Ron Bukunowitz, and Frank Bazil are your officials. Camden, if you're watching online, which all of you are, there's no radio broadcast here tonight. Camden's wearing the purple. St. Anthony is in whites. Here is Josh Brown for the Friars. Takes the ball to the left side to Hollis Cook. And now it's Jordan Compass. Back to Brown. Now it's swung over to Compass again. Hollis Cook with it, the Oregon State commit. Sends it down low in the post. Ball fake, shot up, no good. Good defense by Camden. That shot down there was missed by Compass. And here is Camden. Rasul Hinson He has the ball now in the corner, drives. That shot might have been partially blocked. And now another shot is blocked and out of bounds.
A lot of tall trees down low on that Friars defense. It's going to take more than a pump fake to get a shot up.
Good move in the paint there and a foul. Amir Madrid, good entry pass by Rasul Hinson. And Madrid scores and is fouled, and he'll go to the line to try to complete a three-point play.
And that's obviously the start Camden wants to get off to, Brian. They want to get off to a positive start in this game here tonight. 7:03 to go in the first quarter.
Free throw is no good. The rebound is claimed by Aaron Ariri. St. Anthony working the ball on the perimeter. Cook with it. Goes to Brown. Brown a deep two. That's off the iron, no good. Now Camden wants to run. Tavares Hayden. Goes over to Hinson. He had a shot blocked. And now here comes Brown running. Brown top of the lane, jump stop. Oh, what a great backdoor pass to Cook. And Cook is fouled.
Panther foul number 3, Brad Hawkins. His first personal foul, team's first. Hollis Cook on the line, shooting 2.
Hollis Cook, as we said, has committed to Oregon State, and he makes the first free throw. St. Anthony on the board, 2-1 Camden. Special live internet broadcast here on CapeMayCountySports.com. We also thank ESPN 97.3 ESPN Atlantic City and the Press of Atlantic City and the Boardwalk Basketball Classic for linking this broadcast through their websites. And of course, this broadcast is sponsored by the Boardwalk Basketball Classic. Here's Tavares Hayden. Swings it over to Brad Hawkins. Camden with the basketball. Hawkins has it tipped out of his hands. And the Panthers will have it.
6:17 to go here in the first quarter. 2-1 Camden leads, and they have the basketball.
Hayden goes to Hawkins, goes into the paint, shot was blocked. Here comes St. Anthony. Josh Brown with it. Takes it to the right wing. Holding in front of the Camden bench. Goes back to Compass. Swung to Coleman. Coleman turned it over. And now we're going to have a jump ball.
Jump ball possession now in favor of Camden.
Full court pressure being shown by St. Anthony. They like to guard you all 94 feet, and they do it as well as anybody in the country at the high school level. Hayden's pass is knocked out of bounds by Cook. And we talked about Camden's history, buddy, their recent history. DeJuan Wagner, former lottery pick, but in the gym tonight as an assistant coach for Camden was Wagner's teammate on the Tournament of Champions winner, Arthur Barkley, who is set to be inducted into the South Jersey Basketball Hall of Fame. We are going to have a jump ball.
And Barkley actually followed DeJuan Wagner to the University of Memphis.
Yes. Well, actually, Barkley went ahead of him.
Right.
He was a year ahead of Wagner.
I'm sorry, yes. He went a year ahead, and Wagner followed him.
Brown with it. And knocked out of bounds by Hinson of Camden. Cook to inbound for the St. Anthony Friars. Josh Brown with it. Very low scoring start here, 2-1. Camden has the lead, 5:15 to go in the first quarter. Brown holds, goes to Cook. Cook an 18-footer off the front of the rim. Rebounded, followed his shot well, goes to the glass, missed the layup. Rebound inside, and Coleman is fouled, and he'll go to the line. Of course, buddy, we had a local team in Middle Township who played St. Anthony on Saturday and played very well.
Yes, people in the community still
Losing,
talking about that game.
45-32. It was only an 8-point game at one point in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, Middle Township had a 2-point third quarter that really hurt them in that game. But other than that, they really hung tough and gave St. Anthony fits for most of that basketball game and traveling up to Jersey City, a very tough place to play. Much credit to the Middle Township Panthers.
Coleman made both foul shots. Here comes Camden. Rasul Hinson. Picked up by Alice Cook. Hinson. St. Anthony benched one of the 5-second violation. They didn't get it. Hayden now into the paint. Wild scoop shot, no good. Rebound battled for. Bodies end up on the floor. The ball went off the leg of one of those players on the floor and out of bounds. First substitution into the game, Kentrell Brooks.
And Camden retains possession.
Inbounds pass is stolen by Coleman. Coleman to the basket, no good, but the follow is good by Brown. Here's Amir Madrid for Camden. Goes to Hawkins. Now stepping in is Hayden for a 16-foot jumper. That's no good. Cook rebounds, flips it off to Brown. Ahead of the pack to Compass, and his layup is good. And Camden just got beaten down the floor there. And the Camden coaching staff is not happy. They take a 30-second timeout. Camden, we failed to mention at the top, coached by Setchweo Bird. They come into this game at 4-3. And in their most recent game 2 nights ago, they beat Williamstown 62-41. St. Anthony, buddy, is coming off a tournament which they played some very tough competition up in Boston. And they beat a very good Central Catholic team of Massachusetts 54-50 in their last game 2 nights ago. So needless to say, no surprise if St. Anthony's a little jet lagged today, just getting back from Boston and then traveling down the Parkway from Jersey City to Wildwood.
And that's one of the things, obviously, St. Anthony used to traveling all over the country to play in various tournaments and the type of competition that they do play to get a ranking in the country as the 8th best high school basketball team. But you're right, they're still kids, and getting their legs under them can sometimes take some time.
Hayden is trapped, flips it over to Hinson. Hinson, 16-footer, got it. Nice recognition by Hinson, buddy, to step to the center of the floor to help his teammate out, who was double-teamed. Cook goes to Brown. Brown around a screen, steps in. 18-footer is good.
Tough shot by Joshua Brown, who's headed to Temple University. Temple coach Fran Dunphy is in the building.
Pressure again by St. Anthony. Camden breaks it. That was Jamel Holloway who had it momentarily. Now it's back in the hands of Hinson. Rasul Hinson, baseline drive, try to reverse layup, it's no good. Does a nice job getting involved. Does Brad Hawkins in there for Camden, forcing a jump ball possession to the Panthers. Turin Smith into the game for St. Anthony for the first time.
3:10 to go, here in the first quarter. 9-4.
Pass stolen away by Coleman. Coleman to the basket, tried to pass across, and it was tipped out of bounds. Was looking for Brown. Coleman's going to come out. Coach Bob Hurley didn't like that pass. Cody Jenkins checks in for St. Anthony. senior swing player. Number 15.
And Coach Hurley looking for a little energy. Inserting a player in here off of the bench to try and pick his team up a little bit.
Camden switches to zone here on that baseline inbound play. Jenkins. Now it's Brown. Steps in, good jump stop, kicks it out. Dribble drive. Swung over to the far side. 16-footer is good by Tareen Smith. William McCants with the ball for Camden now. Goes in the corner to Jamal Holloway. Further in the corner for three from Tavares Hayden, no good. Now we're going to have a foul on Camden. That'll go against Jamal Holloway on the rebound.
Foul number 11, Jamal Holloway, his
2:18 to go here in the opening quarter. St. Anthony's on top, 11-4. And the Friars have the basketball.
Here's Cook with it. Excuse me, that was Compass on that entry pass. We have a holding foul
Madrid, his second personal foul.
on Amir Madrid.
Tim Coleman returns
Coleman checks back in for St. Anthony.
for the Friars.
And Josh Devine comes in for Camden for the first time.
In for Camden.
Camden has 4 team fouls, and Madrid picks up his second.
Coleman, an air ball right off the inbound. The loose ball, however, is tracked down by Smith, and he'll restart the offense. Goes right side to Joshua Brown. Pass to Coleman. Better shot this time, but that one goes in and out. Camden pushing to the basket. Stripped on the way to the rim was Hinson. And now it is St. Anthony pushing. Josh Brown steps in, left elbow jumper, no good. Rebound batted around to the basket. Some contact, no foul called. Now we're going to have a travel called on Coleman.
He's walking.
1:24 to go here in the first quarter. The Friars on top of the Panthers, 11-4.
Camden against this pressure. Hawkins swings it over to McCants, and now it's Hinson. Rasul Hinson for the Panthers. Special live internet broadcast here on Cape May County Sports.com. That 18-foot jumper by Hinson is good with a hand in his face. Bob Hurley Elite Showcase game featuring St. Anthony against Camden from the Boardwalk Basketball Classic at the Wildwoods Convention Center. What a tremendous pass from Josh Brown, laying it off to Kentrell Brooks. Taryn Thompson. Excuse me, that would misidentified a player there. It is. Now it's St. Anthony off a turnover. Into the paint was Jenkins, and he kicks it back out to Josh Brown. It looks like St. Anthony wants to take the last shot. With 15 seconds to go. In the opening period, it's 13-6. The Friars with the lead in the ball. Brown dribble penetrates and kicks. Shot is missed by Jenkins. Outlet pass to half court. Here's Hawkins. Can he get to the rim in time? And he is fouled with 0.2 of a second to go in the quarter. So nice recognition there by Brad Hawkins of Camden, buddy, to attack the basket there late in the period and get an opportunity to go to the line.
And they're going to call that foul on Taryn Smith. It's his first, team's fourth.
Free throw is good. So it's now 13-7. St. Anthony on top. And second free throw is no good. Buzzer sounds as the rebound is corralled. End of one quarter. St. Anthony leads Camden 13-7.
Due to our list of sponsors this year is the world-famous Steel Pier in Atlantic City.
Camden hanging in against this pressure, buddy, but certainly facing an uphill climb against this team ranked number 8 in the country.
And you got to give Camden credit, as you said. They are hanging in. And again, as we point out, it's the game of possessions, and possessions are so important. And, Camden trailing by 6 after 8 minutes of play. St. Anthony will have the basketball to come out and start this second quarter. So the first couple minutes right here are going to be very important for Camden. St. Anthony would like to come out and put a little run together.
Yeah, and sometimes, buddy, St. Anthony's so good year in and year out that some cynical people might say, why would you want to play him? Well, I think sometimes, especially in high school sports, too many people get caught up in the importance of wins and losses. I mean, this is an experience that these Camden kids will be able to take with them the rest of their lives, no matter if they somehow find a way to win this game or even if they lose it. And it's just, to play against this kind of a program and all these college players on this stage in a big arena here. 13-7 as we start the second quarter. Josh Brown with it. Swings it over to Coleman. Coleman goes to Jordan Compass. Swung over to Smith. Jumper on the way is no good by Kentrell Brooks. And now pushing for Camden through the lane. Nice move, but couldn't finish, was Tavares Hayden. And here's St. Anthony the other way. 3 ball on the way is good by Taryn Smith. Pass down low from Camden is picked off by Smith. Pushes the ball up the left side. Cross court pass. Corralled by Brown. He steps in. 12-footer is good.
And just like we talked about during that timeout, Camden now on a 5-0, St. Anthony on a 5-0 run.
Great pass there from Hayden.
Yeah, Tavares Hayden did a good job.
And Josh Devine will get 2 shots out of it as he was fouled.
Good dribble penetration down the left side of the lane. Coach Hurley not happy with that penetration, and he was able to dish it off to number 22, Josh Devine, who gets fouled, gets to the line to shoot 2.
Devine, second of 2 free throws. That one's good. 18-8 now. St. Anthony on top. 6:45 to go in the first half. Jordan Compass goes down low to Coleman, excuse me. Tim Coleman kicked it back out to Josh Brown. Ariri tried to accept the pass off a high pick and roll. It was knocked away, but into the hands of Hollis Cook. Cook behind a ball screen for 3, knocks it down.
That was
21-8. St. Anthony on top.
Perfect form as he knocks down that rainbow for 3.
Deep 3 by Hinson is blocked. Outlet pass. And laying it in down the other end is Tim Coleman. And Camden wants another timeout. It is now 23-8. St. Anthony on top with 5:51 to play in the second period.
And after that last time out, it was a 13-7 game. And St. Anthony came right out. And now they're on a 10-1 run. And Coach Sedgweo Bird for Camden, obviously recognizing the wheels are coming off the bus now. His team trails by 15 with 5:51 to go. Long way to go here in the second quarter. Wisely calling a timeout to settle his guys down.
There's a look at the St. Anthony bench. Of course, their longtime venerable coach Bob Hurley sent quite a few players to the NBA out of his program, including his own son Bobby. Played in three Final Fours and won 2 national titles at Duke. Bobby Hurley certainly will go down as one of the best point guards in NCAA history, really, if you think about it.
Oh, absolutely. He had a very, very storied career for the Duke Blue Devils.
Hayden goes to the basket. A lot of contact in there. No foul was called as he lost it on the way. Compass was ahead of the pack. And a good hustle play from behind as Hawkins knocks it out of his hands.
At one time, Hurley was the all-time assist leader for NCAA Division I basketball. He was the second player ever to break 1,000 assist mark.
St. Anthony working it around the post real quick there. Couldn't get a shot, so they kick it back out. They'll restart their offense. Coleman. Now it's Brown. High post pass. He was looking for Compass. Compass wasn't paying attention. As he tried to enter it into the low post, I should have said, and ball was loose, and now we have a jump ball, Camden possession.
And as you said, yeah, Jordan Compass. That time, Compass lost a little bit of his direction. Unable to corral that pass.
I was waiting for that. Tavares Hayden. Jumper in the lane, might have been tipped on the way up. St. Anthony, the rebound they want to run. Brown. Swung across to Coleman. Cook now, over to Brown on the right side. Spun into the post, gets a return pass, great ball fake. Kicks it in the corner to Cook. Goes back to Brown, who's double teamed, dribbles away.
St. Anthony being very patient in their half-court set.
Brown behind a screen, gets to the foul line area, kicks. Here's Cook for 3, and he knocks it down.
Hollis Cook with another three-pointer, and again, great form. And that was from some distance beyond the arc. 26-8, 3:55 to go here in the second quarter. St. Anthony on top.
Here's Hawkins for Camden. Dribble drive and takes a bump and is fouled by Coleman.
Coleman picks up his fourth team foul against the Friars here in the first half.
Jenkins and Smith check back in for St. Anthony, and McCants into the game for Camden.
Will McCants checks in for Camden.
Here's Hayden trying to drive, spins, fall away jumper from the elbow is no good. Rebound will go off of Camden and out of bounds. Cook with a good find down low, and laying it up and in is Aaron Ariri.
28-8, 3:15 to go, second quarter. St. Anthony with a comfortable 20-point lead here in the first half.
Rasul Hinson airballs a baseline jumper to the basket. Layup is no good, but a blocking foul. As Cody Jenkins.
Hawkins, just a freshman, Brian. He picks up his second. He had the right idea. He just did not get in position quick enough. And he picked up his second, team's fifth. And it sends Cody Jenkins to the line to shoot two. 29-8. Exactly 3 minutes to go here in the second quarter. St. Anthony's now on a 16-1 run. Jenkins looking to extend that.
Kentrell Brooks comes back in for St. Anthony, and Omar McGeady and Josh Devine are in for Camden. Here is Devine. He'll shoot a three. That's off the front of the rim. Rebound tracked down by Jenkins. And now it's Cook. And he hands it off to Tyron Smith. Smith takes it right side, goes to Jenkins. Jenkins waits for a ball screen. Ariri gives off to Smith. Ariri now for a long two. That rattles in and out. Rebound will go off of Camden and out of bounds.
And right now, Camden just cannot. St. Anthony is just now a step quicker than the Panthers. They are a very long basketball team, is St. Anthony.
Cook swings it over to Tyron Smith. Smith takes it left side. Now it's Jenkins. Hands back to Smith. Camden did a good job of taking St. Anthony out of what they wanted to run there. But St. Anthony finds the open man. Ariri misses a jumper. It's saved in bounds on the rebound by Cook, and now he'll reset the offense. Cook, not a good pass in the post. Stolen away by Camden. It's a good defensive set there for Camden, buddy.
Yes, it was, and that's right now what Camden needs to do is just try and pull some positives out here to end this first half to take into the locker room.
McGeady lost the dribble in a bad spot. Finally bounces it to a teammate to avoid a 5-second violation. Hayden wanted a foul. One wasn't coming. Here's Cook to the basket. His layup is good.
And exactly 1 minute to go here in the second quarter. 32-8, St. Anthony on top.
Here's a steal. Going to the basket and laying it in is Tyron Smith. He tipped it away from behind and then took the outlet pass and got the easy bucket.
Yeah, that was a 3-on-none break for the Friars. 34-8, 32 seconds to go first half. It's now a 21-1 run for the Friars.
Three-pointer on the way is short by Hayden. Smith has the basketball. 15 seconds to go before halftime. Bob Hurley Elite Showcase game here at the Boardwalk Basketball Classic. Passing down low. The layup is no good. Missed. Knocked out of bounds by Brooks, who missed the layup. .8 seconds to go. Let's see if Camden can get something going here to the basket. They give it to Hayden. Hayden will come up across the timeline, stops, fires for three. That'll be well short. Might have been partially blocked at the buzzer. 34-8. St. Anthony leads Camden. And we're going to step aside for a bit, and we'll come back with the second half on CapeMayCountySports.com. 34-8. St. Anthony leads Camden Center for the special live broadcast. Internet-only broadcast on CapeMayCountySports.com. It's St. Anthony leading Camden 34-8. Oh, nice move inside to start the second half by Aaron Ariri. Got his head and shoulders around the torso of the defender and then easily was able to lay it up and in.
Textbook low block drop step move by Ariri. St. Anthony turned it over just 3 times in that first half, Brian. Camden turned it over 11.
It's another turnover. Shot was missed, though, on the breakout by Jordan Compass. And now Camden has it. Hayden is fouled by Brown.
Joshua Brown picks up his first Friars foul. Here, team foul, I should say, here in the second half. St. Anthony closed that second quarter. Actually, they outscored Camden 21-1 for the period, to go into the locker room with that 34-8 lead. Come out and scored the first 2 points here in the third quarter. 6:56 to go here in period number 3. 36-8, St. Anthony on top.
Hayden for 3 was no good. Compass the rebound, got it out to Brown. Brown up to Cook, back to Brown. Finger roll in the paint, didn't get the roll. And the rebound's brought down by Camden's Amir Madron.
It looked pretty. He was just unable to finish.
It's going to be an offensive foul. Hayden was out of control.
Panthers offensive foul towards Hayden.
Hayden picks up his first, team's first here in the second half. And that charge was drawn by Jordan Compass.
St. Anthony with the ball. Brown kicks over to Cook for 3 and knocks it down. Cook now with 12 points, and he's 3 for 3 on his 3-point tries.
Yes, he is. He's got beautiful form. Gets his feet set, and they swing the ball to him, and he knocks them down.
Good backdoor look, but Hinson has the shot blocked. And here is Cook again. No good on the 18-footer. To follow by Ariri was no good, and now Camden with possession. Hinson, wild shot. Rebound Ariri.
Yeah. As you would expect, Brian, St. Anthony contests every shot. Team is definitely noted for its half-court defense.
Brown, good pass to Ariri, who did not finish. Hawkins takes it down the right side. It's back to Hinson.
39-8, 5:17 to go, third quarter. St. Anthony on top.
Hawkins baseline drive in the paint. Good find. Jameel Holloway lays it in. And Jamal Holloway's basket is Camden's first since the first quarter.
39-10, 4:55 to go in period number 3. The Friars on top.
Cook down low, finding Compass on the block, who was wide open.
And again, St. Anthony just doing a great job being patient offensively and running their half-court sets to near perfection.
Camden's going to take a 30-second timeout, trailing 41-10. You're on CapeMayCountySports.com.
Camden is shooting 4 for 23. It's a 17% clip. They're 0 for 5 from beyond the arc, 2 for 5 from the foul line. They have 16 rebounds as a team, 5 offensive, 11 defensive. They've turned it over 12 times. They have 1 steal. St. Anthony, on the other hand, is shooting 16 for 35 at almost 46%. They are 4 for 5 from beyond the arc. They are 5 of 6 from the free throw line. And as I said earlier, they've turned it over just 3 times. They have 8 steals and 24 rebounds, 9 offensive, 15 defensive.
Camden with the ball out of the timeout. Here's Brad Hawkins. And into the paint. Just checking in and shooting that shot was Dante Hinson. Rebound knocked out of bounds by Camden. St. Anthony will have it.
And again, St. Anthony now on a 28-3 run, beginning at the start of period number 2. .350 to go in the third quarter.
Shot up no good along the baseline, but a foul. And Josh Brown will go to the line.
And that foul is going to be on the freshman, number 3, Brad Hawkins. His third. Panthers' second team foul here in the second half. Josh Brown, the Friar, headed to the Temple Owls at the line, shooting 2. He buries the first free throw. His first trip to the charity stripe here in tonight's ball game. 42-10. The Friars on top.
Second one's also good. And Brown now with 8 points for St. Anthony. McCants swings in the corner to Holloway. He was tied up. We're going to have a jump ball.
Jump ball, possession arrow in favor of Camden. 3:34 to go in the third quarter, 43-10. St. Anthony on top.
Here's Hayden. Along the baseline, that shot was blocked. Hawkins had the shot blocked and out of bounds.
And again, St. Anthony, just a team noted for their half-court defense. They close out very well. When you think you've gotten a little bit of daylight, the defender's right on top of you, taking away any angle, and that time again, another blocked shot headed out of bounds.
McCants to Hedden. Now it's McCants again, swung in the corner to Holloway. McCants now for 3, and that's good.
That's the first three-point basket of the game for the Camden Panthers. 43-13. Just under 3 minutes to go here in the third quarter.
Brown with it. Jenkins goes to a rear. Now it's swung in the post to Brown. Brown spins, kicks out. 3 ball on the way by Cook. That's an air ball. Rebound taken by Camden, and now they're going to look to push. Hawkins in the middle of the floor. Goes over to Hedden. Tavares Hedden on the left wing. Bounces it back to Will McCants. Hedden tees up a 3. That's short. Rebound taken by Jenkins. Fight for the loose ball now, and Cook has it. Flips it out to Brown. Josh Brown into the top of the paint. Great pass down low, and we're going to have a traveling violation.
Smith checks into the lineup for the Friars.
Soren Smith and Tim Coleman back in the game for St. Anthony.
And Coach Hurley makes another quick substitution as he takes area out after that travel down low.
Jamil Madrid is in for Camden. Tavares Head goes to Holloway. Tried to force his way into the lane. Ball was knocked away. Now we're going to have a jump ball.
Friars ball.
St. Anthony possession, 1:44 to go. In the third quarter, they lead at 43-13 over Camden. Jenkins goes to Brown. Brown, oh, what another great find. Basket is good. And a foul by Taryn Smith.
And Joshua Brown, as you said, little good dribble penetration. Great find as he finds Taryn Smith on the left side, on the left block. He's going to go to the line and try and finish off the three-point play the old-fashioned way. Taryn Smith.
No good on the free throw. The rebound. Go off St. Anthony and out of bounds.
45-13, 1:24 to go.
The amazing thing about this St. Anthony team, buddy, is that they don't even foul. They play such hard defense. They have 5 fouls for the game right now.
Well, they're a very long team, and they move their feet. They close out. They're fundamentally as good as you're going to see.
Tavares Head knocks down a 3.
And that's another freshman here for Camden.
That's his first field goal. He was 0 for 9 overall and 0 for 5 on threes before that. Shot missed down the other end, but Tim Coleman follows it back up and in.
47-16, 40 seconds to go here in the third quarter.
3 ball on the way, or long 2 is no good. That was taken by Madrid into the paint. Another great pass. This time from Smith, who dropped it off to Jenkins. Jenkins was fouled.
His second personal foul. Team fourth. Cody Jenkins.
Brian just got a text message from Statman3. He has arrived safely back at the University of Delaware after his long week here at the basketball tournament, as he gets ready to start his internship in Washington, D.C. before his quick stop at the White House to try and help out with the fiscal situation that the country is in.
Right. Cody Jenkins makes that second free throw. It's now 48-16. St. Anthony on top with 28 seconds to go in the third quarter. Tavares Head gives it to Brad Hawkins, and now it is Omar McGeady. Back to Hedden. McGeady gets it again. Now in the corner. Hawkins shut off. Lobs a pass. Kind of in no man's land. Holloway does a nice job of jarring it away and then tracking it down for the Panthers. 1 second to go. Heading for 3. No good off the iron to close the third quarter. 48-16. St. Anthony on top of Camden. Here on CapeMayCountySports.com.
Tough shot there by Hedden, but at least the freshman was able to recognize that the clock was winding down, and he actually, the little left-hander, nice little juke towards the basket, was able to pull back, and he got off a pretty good look, good, nice clean shot. It just was, he was unable to knock it down. I'm going to start this fourth quarter, 48-16, the Friars on top. They outscored the Panthers in that period 14-8. Camden was able to double their score in that quarter as they went into the locker room at halftime scoring just 8 points. They scored 7 in the first, 1 in the second, and then they had an 8-point third period for their total of 16. The Friars scored 13 in the first, 21 in the second. Went into the locker room with a 34-8 lead, and they scored 14 in that third quarter, and that is where the score stands at 48-16. It's going to be Camden's ball to start this fourth quarter.
And here is Hedden. Couple of subs in. Shagan Mosley and Chaz Smith are in the game for St. Anthony for the first time. Here's Tyron Smith. Goes to Mosley. Jair Bolden also in the game for St. Anthony. So a lot of subs into the game now for the Friars. Pass, tipped out of bounds. 7:27 to go. And it's St. Anthony comfortably at 48-16. Heading for three, no good. He is now 1 for 12 from the floor.
He has
swung
attempted.
into the corner. Good entry
Yes,
pass
it was.
by
again,
Bolden, and it's laid up and in by Kentrell Brooks.
Camden defender guilty that time of trying to play defense from behind in the post. And that's going to be an easy basket every time.
Dribble drive. There's a block in there and a lot of contact. A no call, and now a layup is made in there by Jamal Holloway. Driving to the basket and fouled from behind is Jair Bolden.
You got to give Holloway a lot of credit on that last field goal. Again, he is also just a freshman, so there is a bright future for this Camden team. Holloway showed some stick-to-itiveness as he stayed with that and put that second attempt back in off the glass.
You look at what St. Anthony is doing here tonight, buddy, and you almost start thinking about how remarkable it was that Middle Township only lost to this team by 13 just 8 days ago on St. Anthony's home floor.
And just goes to show you that third quarter when Middle Township scored just 2 points. I mean, St. Anthony, when they want to come out and lock you up, that's what they can do with all these defenders.
Here's a steal. And going to the basket and laying it in is Mosley. Heading into the paint, and he kicks out to McGeady, gets a return pass. McGeady back to Hedden. Jumper on the way, goes off the rim and knocked out of bounds by St. Anthony. St. Anthony was actually playing zone on that last defensive possession. So obviously they're backing off a little bit here with the large lead in the fourth quarter. Shot in the paint was missed by Amir Madrid. St. Anthony eventually comes up with the loose ball. Jagan Mosley holding the dribble. Lost the dribble. Passes on the wing. Good defense there by Camden's Jamil Madrid, giving some pressure to Jair Bolden.
5:20 to go here in the third, in the basketball game. 54-18, St. Anthony on top.
Here's a baseline jumper that's in and out, knocked out of bounds by St. Anthony. The shot was missed by Taron Thompson. You look at this St. Anthony group on the floor right now, buddy, and they don't have a starter out there. And this team could, on the floor, could probably beat 90% of the teams in the state. And we have a foul in the paint as Amir Madrid went hard to the middle of the lane, and he'll go to the line. You look at what they're able to do, and Camden has only attempted 35 shots in this game. Shot is no good at the line by Madrid. Meanwhile, St. Anthony as a team is shooting 20 for 43. Certainly a good percentage, especially at the high school level.
Just under 47%, and as you said, Camden getting off just 35 shots, making only 7. 2 for 12 is the Panthers from beyond the arc.
Long 2. Taken on the wing by Edward Dominguez. He just checked into the game. That was missed. Camden down the other end. Good move in the post by Madrid, but he couldn't finish. So now St. Anthony with it. They push Bolden. Goes further on the right wing. Driving. Shooting is Thompson. And then we have an over-the-back call on Jair Bolden. Hinson comes up across midcourt. Three-pointer on the way is no good by Jameel Madrid. And the rebound goes out of bounds off of Camden.
4:02 to go here in the basketball game. 54-19. St. Anthony on top of the Camden Panthers.
Tony Houston now at the point guard spot for St. Anthony. High post pass. Now it's kicked out to Houston. 16-footer's no good. Rebound taken down by Josh Devine.